Welcome along to a belated episode 63 of I Know What You Watched Last Week. This will be coming out on Halloween, technology permitting. And just a quick word on the delay. Our entire world stopped because one of our kitties went missing for 4 nights.
Horrible.
And I was just in the depths of despair. Karen's in the depths of despair. Our life was over.
Was on hold as
Was
well.
on hold,
Just didn't
essentially,
do anything. So, but in a way,
Nothing but look for the cat.
well, we have her back now, obviously. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this.
No.
Joy.
So you have Kayla to thank
It's
for
a
this.
Halloween miracle.
It is.
But in a way, this kind of works because obviously normally we put out an episode on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. But seeing as this is our final Halloween special of the year, Halloween is a great time to put it out.
And as
so
you know,
enjoy.
I've always wanted to put I Know What You Watched Last Week out on a Friday because I like the beginning of the weekend, and you said no, I think the end of the weekend when everyone's already watched stuff. Like, what? So we're like the last resort.
Yeah, with a wholesome end to the week.
Wholesome. I like that. Yeah. So Halloween it is. Last week / last episode at least with Halloween 2. So this time, you're supposed to say what it is now.
No more days till Halloween, 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 no more. Halloween 3.
Season of
Of
the Witch.
the Witch.
Yeah, what a peculiar title that is, because
It doesn't fit as far as I'm concerned.
there is somewhat a little bit of witchcraftiness in there, but not really.
They
And
do
especially,
mention the
I did
witchcraft,
some
but-
Halloween shopping again this year. I haven't told anyone yet, but I've got this directly behind me. So even, the front cover doesn't really do
No.
any kind of justice to what's going on in the movie either.
I like it, but
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
like
really
it.
go with the movie.
Got another one out of sight up there as well, the 4K special
Out of
editions.
sight, but not out of mind.
Oh, I also got this one as well. This Halloween. The tin. What a great tin this is. Halloween tin. I don't know if the light's shining on it, if anyone can see it. But
Because we are professional.
tin. Yeah, tin Halloween. So, Halloween 3.
Can we actually start with that title again, just a little bit
Season
more?
of the Witch.
Because they do mention, as you said, towards the end of the film, they talk about witchcraft and
Yeah.
whatnot. But
Samhain.
there's no females involved in running this, as far as I can tell. So shouldn't it be Season of the Warlock?
Maybe just warlocks aren't as prevalent in, horror subculture that they just went with the word witch.
Season of Witchcraft.
Or maybe they just didn't know what the hell they were doing, because, it's the third Halloween movie. No Michael Myers, completely different thing.
Yeah.
And this movie opens, it's like, you can already tell, especially after already seeing it, going back over it, that it opens in a completely kind of like different, I'll just say style, I guess, but the style of everything, including the music, is more like kind of like sci-fi. It's more like Terminator, the opening. The opening's a bit like Terminator. It's dark. There's a man being pursued by strange people in the car with the headlights coming out of the darkness. All this great stuff. It opens on the 23rd of October in the movie. And something else which is completely different is the score. So we've got like a more computer sci-fi futuristic kind of score, which John Carpenter returns for, as well as Alan Howarth.
Halloween 2 was a bit synthy as well.
Yeah, the synths did start to be added into number 2, but then this went like, synth overload, and yeah, it's a completely different score from the first one. But it's probably
I think I've got some pumpkin in my eyes.
it's arguably the most popular Halloween soundtrack. So you tried to get this on vinyl. It's quite hard, and if you can get it, then it's very expensive. So what do you think? And what do you think of the score to this one? Do you even care when you got stuff coming out of your eye?
I liked the score.
I like it.
It's not as a score overall. I don't find it as memorable as the original.
A lot of people say this is John Carpenter's masterpiece.
But
in
I
music.
think it's also because, at least for me, with the jingle constantly playing, that is so catchy that yeah. I mean, the score is going to kind of...
So you like the London
forgotten
Bridge is
for
burning down jingle?
Yeah, especially with the kids' faces writhing around, not in tune to it. They're like... It's like... And like they're dying.
The kids
They're
dancing to it.
dying.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
It's weird.
So yeah, Tommy Lee Wallace directed this. What did he direct? He directed the TV version of It. So this was his directorial debut. He was in talks to do number 2, but after finding out, as we discussed in the Halloween 2 review, that it was going to be a more gore-orientated movie rather than just suspense, he didn't want to do that. So they kept him on hold. He did work on the second one, I just forget as what. But yeah, he came to direct this one. And it's good in the opening of Halloween 2, you've got the camera going on the pumpkin. Halloween 3, when the credits are coming out, we have this like TV screen style thing. It's all very like close up, so you can't really see what the image is, and it reveals itself to be the flashing pumpkin, which ends up on the television. Just wondering, what did you prefer out of the Halloween 2 one and this one? Because you can tell it's part of the same movie franchise at this point, even though this is completely separated from anything else.
The extreme slow growth of the real pumpkin is...
In number 2, you mean?
Is pretty epic.
Epic.
It's epic. But I did like all of these lines, and I have to admit, because obviously you just see close-up bits of it, and they're fat to the music. They're yeah, they fit to the music, which is very effective. And I was wondering the whole time. I was like, what are all these lines like? What are they going to show us at the end? And it came quite far in before I was like, oh right, it's a pumpkin made of lines,
just like you. Are you tempting fate by wearing one of the masks of Halloween 3 Season of the Witch?
Mine's a rip-off though. It doesn't have the
brain to mush.
Doesn't have the tag on it.
No, it's also not a mask.
What?
Yeah. So this opens up, as I said, in that Terminator style, more of a sci-fi style. And what we get also are lightning transitions. So like a scene will happen, also see some lightning, and then we'll go to a scene with some blue lighting. Do you remind me of Heathen? Or what will be Heathen? What do you think? Yeah?
Yeah, very nice.
There you go. So
it was even when the guy is being pursued by the
shop owner guy.
It even was a bit Species. You've already said Terminator, and oh god, there's another film that's
escaping your mind.
Yeah, the fact that they have just no emotion. Maybe I'm also thinking of The Matrix.
So what you're saying is that there's a heavy sci-fi element to
Definitely.
this film. Yeah, and there is a heavy sci-fi element to it. It's not just a straight horror film. So the car that's in pursuit of this lone guy, the shop owner guy, what I really love is the car coming out from the distance and the headlights, like very, very menacing, very nefarious. And there's these weird guys in suits who get out of the car and begin to chase this shop owner guy who was clutching one of the masks. Yeah, and as he's being kind of pursued, one of these people in suits ends up not being a real person because he ends up being crushed in between two cars, which I thought was very cool.
Yeah, and there was no blood, nothing like that.
No.
He just kind of breaks down.
Because obviously, as we find out later on, that he's a drone. They're all drones under the great Daniel O'Herlihy. Daniel O'Herlihy. You know Daniel O'Herlihy, right? What's he in, apart from this? RoboCop.
Right.
Yes, he's the owner of OCP, runs OCP. OCP runs the cops. Yeah. You call this a glitch?
That makes sense then.
That guy, yeah. So crash in between cars, and a guy, he escapes like a gas station.
Yeah.
And there's another guy that he comes across, and he's kind of like...
The gas station attendant.
Yeah, is he the gas station attendant, or is he the owner? He could be the business owner who's just watching television.
It really doesn't matter, does it, Johnny?
Yeah, but you brought it up.
I just thought it sounded better than saying gas station person.
You're the one that corrected me. So, once again...
Okay, anyway, a gas station person.
We are very much nitpicking. She's woken up in a very, very bad mood this morning. I've been trying to keep it at bay. But
I have not.
She read some news articles of some people that really irked her, using some words that really irked her. So,
no,
yeah,
it was actually... It was you
this.
talking over my audiobook that irked me. That's why I'm in a bad mood.
That's why I'm in a bad mood. Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying a gas station person.
A gas station person, that is the proper term for it. Yeah, he ends up taking the guy to the hospital.
Yeah.
Explains what's happened, but unbeknownst to him, the drone guys are also following him to the hospital. I mentioned when the headlights come out of the darkness, and also like when the drone guy ends up at the hospital, that the camera still highlights the headlight when he turns up. It's like a running kind of theme. Oh, here they are again, the same person. And once we're in the hospital, we're introduced to the sex machine Lothario, Tom Atkins.
Is that his official title, Sex Machine Lothario?
That is his official title.
I don't find him particularly attractive.
Well, the role doesn't revolve around you.
My world does.
Yeah. Look, if I sported that kind of tash, sure, I'd be irresistible to all of womankind. So he's there, Tom Atkins, and when Tom Atkins is there, the doctor, the alcoholic, absent father, absentee father, Dr. Tom Atkins. I think his name is Dr. Daniel. Doesn't really matter. I'll call him Tom Atkins. The first thing he does, he's talking to a nurse, and as they finish a conversation, walking down the hallway of the hospital, he gives a nice butt slap as they part.
This whole
so is that professional?
This whole character is very much, it's like the stereotype of a certain period in history
the 80s?
For men and women. Actually, I would say a bit earlier than the 80s.
Right. This is quite early, it's 82.
He's got 2 kids who he apparently just barely ever sees, and he's quite happy to be called into work.
Mm-hmm.
He's just been, drinking at some party, and he goes into work because, why wouldn't you as a doctor? And then he's slapping random women's asses.
Yeah, Nurse Agnes, I think her name was.
Kind of non-sexually, just, that's just how you show your affection for an underling.
But also, she likes him. It's not like it's an unwanted butt tap.
Yeah.
She wants him. Like I said, he's an unstoppable Lothario sex machine, Tom Atkins.
What I do find strange, though, is that this character, this doctor...
Dr. Tom Atkins.
Who's never met the patient or anything like that, decides to then take on what we end up watching for the rest of the film, which is trying to figure out what's going on. I was like, he's going to some extreme lengths to find out something that is just like, what could this be? He's like a member of the Mystery Inc. gang. He's Scooby-Doo's gang.
He's booze-addled, so he's not really thinking. He's like more about the adventure.
Or do you think he's going along because he's chasing the pussy?
Of course that's what it is. That's what I was about to say. I wasn't going to put it in such crude terms, but I say you're in a crude mood because you've woken up on the wrong side of the bed. As I say, this drone thing, it gets into the hospital and it finds the guy who had been previously chasing, and we end up getting like kind of eye gouging, skull crushing, and as our first kill, that's pretty great.
Yeah, I like a good eye gouge. Eye gouge.
Yeah, who doesn't like an eye gouging in horror? And once he's done his business, the drone takes himself outside, gets into his car, pours loads of gasoline over himself and sets himself on fire.
Which Dr. Tom Atkins
is witnessing.
Has seen, yeah, because the nurse panics, understandably, upon finding her patient with his eyes gouged out.
Yeah.
He's like, him! So Doctor runs after and just stands there and watches him light himself up.
Yeah. And now we get a kind of... It was at this point, I got to say, when I was a child, and I rented Halloween 3 or something like that, or it came on television, I had no idea at the time that this was going to be a non-Michael Myers Halloween, much like I think a lot of people when it originally came out, before I was born or whatever.
Right.
So it was at this point I was like, okay, it already opened weird and didn't have the same kind of feel, and now I'm getting the feeling that there isn't going to be any Michael Myers, and much like everyone, because I was kind of duped, I didn't enjoy this movie, like certainly not the first time I watched it, and I was very happy to see Michael return in number 4, number 5 and so forth, but over time... I just think this is a great movie, a great horror movie. It's a unique horror film, and it also got bad reviews on release, and I think it's also been like kind of reappraised over time. There isn't anything quite like this.
I think this is a great film.
I think it is a great film. Yeah, would you?
I really like it.
Would you? Would you have Halloween and Halloween 2 or Halloween and Halloween 3?
If I could only have one of them, I guess I'd go 3, actually.
Yeah.
One Michael and one not. I can completely understand. So I think they should have made it a lot more obvious to people going into the film that this is not a Michael Myers movie.
I'm not sure if it was the studio's fault or the people, because it was obviously already conceived as an anthology thing through John Carpenter. I'm pretty sure they would have put out this is not going to be or maybe they didn't because they thought they'd lose even more business, but...
But either way, I can definitely understand that if you're going into something having like, oh, it's Michael Myers, and you've seen 2 movies that you really enjoy, and then you go to the third one, and just because you're constantly waiting for Michael, it's not going to be appreciated.
Of course, Michael does show up somewhat when, it's almost
Gets
like...
a cameo.
Yeah, it's almost like needling the audience who are expecting Michael when Tom Atkins goes home and tries to give his kids this crappy mask that he's bought. These aren't, Silver Shamrock masks that they've been asking for. Plus, they've already got them from their mother. And also on the television, I think like a promo, an advert for the horror classic Halloween comes on. And that's all we get of Michael Myers in this. But yeah, I still remember vividly realising, hey, this doesn't... even though I think at this point the movie's probably only like 12, 15 minutes in, even at that point where I clocked thinking, there's no Michael, still probably at half an hour and I was like, is Michael going to... Yeah, but
would you have liked it if Michael was running the Silver Shamrock
That would have been cool. I would have loved that, yeah.
Factory, and then all of a sudden he just steps out.
but also Cochrane is cool. I really like Cochrane. Dan O'Hurley. Yeah, but something we do get quite similar is now Tom Atkins, after witnessing this at the hospital, he's now acting like Dr. Loomis on the phone to his wife. He's like being like quite hysterical and saying, "Yeah, I've got to do this, I've got to do that and the other," and kind of thing. Yeah.
Again,
he's a man of action.
Knowing
A sexual man of action.
Well, that's true. We haven't even gotten there yet. But
No.
knowing where this film goes and the fact that he, it was a huge, like, a nationwide thing and he's trying to save everyone by the end. But at this point in time, there's no implication whatsoever that this is going to go beyond just the one guy who stumbled into his hospital. And yet he still is like, oh, screw the kids. I don't need to take them trick-or-treating. I'm going to go off and gallivant with this young woman I've just met in case I can find something out.
Well, they've got their mother, for one thing. Their home life seems quite steady. Seems like they don't want to be around their dad. And, he's got his booze on. He's got things to think about. So he's a doctor. Obviously, he cares about people. So he cares about the fate
Just not his kids.
of the world. He does care about his kids because he doesn't want them to wear a mask. But anyway, talk to me about Stonehenge. How about that?
Okay, this is the one thing in the film where I'm like, that's actually really dumb.
What?
That's so dumb.
You're dumb.
So are they suggesting that they got bits of Stonehenge to put in the little tag things and that's what's created...
Cochrane stole a bit of Stonehenge and brought it back. And the magical powers of Stonehenge are what initiate the brain damage and bug infestation. Because it's put in a chip.
Yeah, I've never been a massive fan of Stonehenge. I don't get the big deal.
As a historical buff, yeah, you're a hater of Stonehenge. Why do you hate Stonehenge so much?
There are things that are older and far more intricate and interesting than Stonehenge.
Doesn't mean it's not interesting.
It's less interesting than
I'd
most
like to see
things,
you
though.
put some giant slabs of stone on their side and build a weird structure.
And then dance around naked.
I would like to see that. Yes, that's not just me. So Tom Atkins, the divorced doctor, right? He's going to be our hero. So now that the guy that's died at the hands of the drone, his daughter Ellie now shows up to identify the body, and of course Tom Atkins is there now. Sees Ellie, the daughter, come in. She's distraught. She's got to identify her father.
Which he sees as, oh, I've got an easy in.
He sees an opening. He's got the tash. Sees her crying. There's an opportunity, but he's a gent. He doesn't quite go into it. He ignores it. He ignores it the first time. Okay, he lets her identify her dead father, and then we'll get to where he needs to get to. Because the assistant nurse Agnes wants him as well. She's back on the phone to him. She's like, oh, You don't get the impression that the butt slapped Agnes nurse wants Tom Atkins.
No.
Well, you don't know how to read ladies' sexual
That's not
desire
the
like
feeling
I
I
do.
got.
Right.
No.
So, assistant wants him too. Friday the 29th, Tom Atkins is now at a bar. He's a barfly, a lonely barfly by himself. I do like a dark bar in the movie, and old school when he got the tall, small TV in the corner, much like Moe's Tavern in The Simpsons.
So again, he's not gone to go and see his kids. He's just gone to sit and drink alone in a bar.
Yeah, and to watch the game. And once again, the advert for the original Halloween comes on. And that one as well, yeah.
It's such a weird
Do you understand
advert.
why do you know why they use London Bridge is Falling Down?
Oh, because it's just it's in the public domain,
It's
right?
in the public domain, yeah, so you can use it for free. And it's a money saver, isn't it? Instead of writing your own jingle or paying someone to come up with something original, we'll just superimpose
And everyone
this
knows it's
lyrical
catchy.
content. Yeah, especially you love it. What I really like in the movie as well is how the advert starts. I think we first see it start at like 8 days before Halloween.
Yeah.
You got to imagine it's probably been on before that as well, like 16 days before Halloween. It's like
But they choose the days that
instead of
work
like
in
putting a
the little
mask
tune.
on and just having my head melt, I think I'll just shoot myself in the face if I heard it all throughout Halloween. It's a bit like when you see Christmas adverts in September. It's like, why is this happening? Just kill me now.
Well, I do just think the advert is not of the level where I'd be like, oh my god, I have to get a mask from there. I'd be like, look at this crappy advert.
No,
with a
but
catchy
these are
jingle.
the best masks going. Don't you see? So anyway, he's at the bar, and who shows up? Ellie. Ellie shows up wanting it.
She's hot for Doctor.
Yeah, he's got questions about her father. What did he say the night he died? Well, she's got questions for Tom Atkins, should I say. And he's like, I saw something that night. And he said, they're going to kill us all. They're going to kill us all. So Ellie's their dad, knows the score. He knows what was going on. Then I've written, pull skull apart. Someone dies from having their skull pulled apart.
Are you sure it wasn't crushed?
I've written pull skull apart.
I have a recollection of the suit people doing this.
Yeah,
Maybe.
they get the guy who, like, there's some hobo guy who Tom Atkins talks to at night time, isn't there?
Oh yeah, but this is later. So Tom Atkins and the girl go to
Santa Mira.
Is that what it's called? The Silver Shamrock factory town.
In Santa Mira.
And they're staying there in some, motel or whatever. But there's a curfew lockdown, and you're not supposed to be out. Except I noticed that Doctor is out buying booze.
Yeah, well, he's got.
And if there's a
his...
curfew, then shouldn't all the businesses be shut?
I think you're thinking too much into this.
but anyway, he stumbles across seems to be a homeless guy who speaks badly about Mr. Shamrock.
You said that there's like a curfew there in Santa Mira.
Yeah.
And Tom Atkins gets out and buys his booze, whatever.
Yeah.
We skipped over when they decide to go to Santa Mira, him and Ellie. Mm-hmm. Halfway through the road trip, Tom Atkins gets out, goes to like a 7-Eleven, gets a 6-pack of beer, puts it on top of his car, then finds a payphone, and then blows off his wife and kids. He's like, look, I've just picked up this woman, she's got a 6-pack of beer, I'm heading down to Santa Mira. Woo!
What a family man.
I love it. I absolutely love that we root for this guy.
Yeah, so this homeless guy talks smack about Cochrane.
Once they get to
And,
Santa Mira as well, it's very CCTV heavy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
everything's being watched.
Which now wouldn't be
creepy.
weird, but in 1982...
So they pick up this dude and, they crush or rip apart his skull.
Gas station
sure.
enquiries, and they get a motel. They get a motel, Tom Atkins and Ellie.
Now, at this point, they've known each other for what?
A
6
day?
hours? Yeah, it's not even a full day they've known each other. And Tom Atkins goes to Ellie like, oh, should I get you another room? She goes...
He's the gentleman.
And she's not looking at him either. She's like, why? Where would you like to sleep, Doctor?
I think you know full well where I want to sleep.
That's a stupid question, Mrs. Whatever. And then he goes in for it. And then, of course, they're humping. I don't think we see that, though, but it's obvious.
Yeah, we do
we
get
see
to
the
see...
humping?
We don't get to see so much humping, but we do get to see the moves that Tom Atkins puts on. Because, like I say, she's pursued him. She's found him at the bar. So because of this machismo, they now got a motel room. We've also been introduced to the motel manager, who's a bit of a weird character. Do you remember that guy? Mm-hmm. Briefly in it. He's a bit strange. So they get the motel, they shag, and in between this, Tom Atkins leaves, and that's when he has the conversation with the hobo guy. Mm-hmm. And the hobo guy gets kind of irked about what Tom Atkins is saying because, he loves Cochrane. He's saying that Cochrane built this town.
The hobo guy? No, the hobo guy hates Cochrane. He said he wouldn't employ me. He gets a whole bunch of weirdos out.
Yeah, but
I'm not working.
he still compliments him. How do you not remember
But
this?
I thought it was only the motel owner guy who was like, yeah, Cochrane's built this place. He's brilliant. And then I thought it was the homeless dude was like, oh, I hate him because look what he's done to me.
Hates him now, but he still loves him. He's a love-hate relationship for that guy. And because he's been bad-mouthing him, like you just said, it's the hobo guy who gets his eye gouged out, his head ripped off by drone guys.
Yeah, we said that.
I know, I'm saying it's him that has happened.
I think we said that
by
too.
some guys. No, so now after that, it's time for more sex. So we haven't seen the first bout of sex. We're about to somewhat see the second lot. And there's a very, very strange porno sexual score going on in the background. I don't know if like John Carpenter and Anna Howell were sitting there just thinking, right, this is now intimate scene. Were they influenced by, Bad Booty 45 or something like that?
I can't say I know Bad Booty 45, but...
I'm sure it exists. What I do like about this sex scene is the camera is kind of like above and it's looking at Ellie on the bed. She's laying there in like some kind of like sexual nightie.
Which she happened to pack.
Yeah, and then off camera, we just see Tom Atkins slowly coming in to frame over Ellie. And now they're getting it on,
isn't it?
And they fall asleep, but then they're awoken by the Halloween jingle, right? And in a adjacent room, there's a lady who's found a microchip from one of the masks, and because of the Stonehenge magic that's put into the chip, it blasts her face and kind of like shoots her face open, which is pretty great. And then bugs come out
I
of
loved the way
her.
that looked. Honestly,
Yeah.
they've got like all the flesh peeling back from her teeth and everything. Oh, it looks awesome, but it doesn't necessarily make much sense. To be honest, the whole Silver Shamrock Stonehenge magic thing, I like it, but I don't get it. I don't get it.
It's over your head, yeah?
So she gets her face blown open, and then later we get like
Because of Stonehenge.
snakes and bugs crawling out of. Yeah.
Because that's what Stonehenge is synonymous for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we've seen this. We've seen her get her face blasted open. And it's back to the room now, and Ellie wants more sex. She wants even more sex. And it's now your favourite part when... About age.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember how it comes up, and it shouldn't have had to be mentioned, because the fact that they say it makes it really creepy. He's already slept with her, and now suddenly he's like, oh, how old are you? She's like, don't worry, doctor, I'm older than I look.
So she's older than 25, which is what I think she looks.
That's weird. I found that
Did you
really
think she looked
weird.
young? Yeah, that is a strange thing to say, but then again, he's booze-addled, he's not thinking straight. He's recently
And
divorced.
he's, like I said, an epitome of like the 60s man. So
Yeah. When he asks her how old she is, and she's like, Rex, I'm older than I look. As I say, we've got a woman playing with the Shamrock Pog who gets her face blasted. And as this is happening, I've already mentioned that Ellie's already said, I want more sex. So while the face blast happens, it's like quite a loud noise, and it cuts back to the room where Tom Atkins and Ellie are, and she's like, what's that? And he's like, who cares? Because, he's got to shag. He doesn't care about
no distractions.
weird noises from a different room. He's mid-shag, he's Tom Atkins, he's oozing machismo.
Well, we have
Don't
watched
ask me what
films
it is.
before where the couple's been interrupted mid-shag, and it always seems to really peeve you. You can't let that go.
What was that?
But-
Who cares? I'm too into shagging.
But they do go out as this lady's body is being collected by, again, these suited men.
Who do seem to have their own ambulance.
Yeah, but it's even on the out. It's got Silver Shamrock written on the side,
And
and
introduced-
Dr. Atkins is like, "Well, hello, I'm a doctor. I should have a look at her." But they're
Even
like,
though
no,
I've been
don't
drinking.
worry.
He's been drinking. He can't be
And
on
whoring,
duty.
and I'm sorry, no, she's not a whore, but anyway, I said she's not. But they're out there, and trying to figure out what the hell is going on, and they meet Mr. Cochrane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's like,
Daniel Hurley.
Don't worry.
From the great RoboCop, plays the old man.
He does an American accent in that one, right?
In
RoboCop.
RoboCop, no, he does pretty much the same accent
does
as what
he?
he's got in here, yeah. You call this a glitch? It's not really American.
No, because he is Irish, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, look at the name, Daniel
Yeah,
Hurley. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the Silver
Much
Shamrock.
like, who else is Irish?
Lots of people. Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah. So, she's carted away in front of Dr. Atkins, like you say, and he's like bemused as to why no one's listening to him. Cochrane's like, don't worry, she'll get the best care money can buy, kind of thing.
Oh, and that's it. And as they're like kind of going away, because when you turn your back on someone, it means they can't hear you anymore. So Cochrane asks one of the suited guys like, what happened? And the guy goes, a misfire, which obviously we know is from the mask thingy, Stonehenge.
Stonehenge blast.
But
Stonehenge blasting microchips.
turns out Tom Atkins could still hear them even though their backs were turned to him. And he's like, misfire, what does that mean?
Yeah, what is that? I thought he was a doctor supposed to know something. What do you think about the player/doctor angle? Because this is pre-Nip Tuck. Remember Nip Tuck?
Yes.
Dr. Christian, he's a true player, plastic surgeon and player. Do you think the guys from Nip Tuck saw this and thought, right, this is what we need in our more modern take on Hollywood doctors?
Well, the thing is, the way this is filmed, Season of the Witch, there's nothing that would be like, oh, this guy's a player. And I don't think that was even like an intention. I think this is just like, oh, here's a male character, and of course he has to get boned,
Well,
Got to add
it's
that in
look,
there. It can't not have sex. So
I think this is 1982, right?
Perverts.
Tom Atkins is a player doctor. He's getting it because this is what we're used to. This is what we want from him. Because also in another John Carpenter movie, where he's involved in this one, he directs The Fog. Tom Atkins is in that. He picks up like a hitchhiking Jamie Lee Curtis, drives her to a destination within like 5 minutes, and the next scene they're just woken up from doing it. So this is what Tom Atkins does.
He's got such a strong sexual essence
So now you're on
that
board
women
with that.
don't stand a chance.
No, they'll derobe in an instant.
And
I-
then he'll light up his cigarette and...
And this is what's missing from modern horror cinema, is the guy that's just like low, like whoring around and then having a smooth.
And the fact that
tasty
that's got
nicotine
nothing to
cigarette.
do with the actual storyline, that just happens because that's what Tom Atkins does.
And that's what he brings. So are you happy to see...
Do you think this film would be different if he and the woman didn't have a sexual relationship?
Oh yeah, it'd probably be... Instead of like me giving it 5 out of 5, I'll probably like, 3.5. Because where's Lothario Tom Atkins at?
See, I don't think it would make any difference to the story whatsoever.
Well, people want what they want, okay? It's not about what you want, okay? The majority have spoken. We
So
want to
you're
see...
the people.
I'm the people.
You're the majority.
I'm the representative for horror fans, okay? You are a Johnny come lately, all right? You don't get to rewrite the script. So, now I've introduced to Cochrane and all that, an employee of the year visits the factory and he brings along his wife, who probably is bored as hell because how boring is this?
And his little kid.
His little kids. And the guy, he's like kissing Cochrane's ass like everyone else in town is, kind of thing. And before they go on this tour, which he's got there for, because he's doing a tour of the factory so the masks get made. Obviously, Tom Atkins is there with Ellie, and Cochrane once again assures Atkins that the victim from the Stonehenge zapping is now doing okay. And the employee of the year says, "Oh, can my friends come along on the tour?" And Cochrane says, "Oh, of course." I was about to ask him, but he doesn't really want it because he can tell that Tom Atkins is there to meddle in his
Troublemakers.
evil plans.
Meddling kids.
Yes. Stop trying to bring it back to Scooby-Doo every time.
So they go on a wonderful tour of the factory, and we go on a wonderful tour of the factory as the audience, because we get to see them making the masks.
I thought the tour sucked. If I paid for that tour and this is what I was getting, I thought, this really sucks.
Why would you pay for a tour of a mask factory?
Well, these are masks that are just lauded worldwide, so everyone wants to know what's so great about these silver shamrock masks, and you can't go and see the final preparations that they have. Do you want to go to a mask factory? No, so that's what I'm saying then. So
there aren't
I
many
think we're saying the same
factories
thing.
I'd want to go to.
What about like a beer brewery?
No.
What about a whiskey
No.
distillery?
Maybe chocolate.
I can visit the Jim Beam distillery. Apparently it's haunted, so that's good. And I can have some Jim Beam afterwards.
I've been to the Kopparberg place in Kopparberg.
Oh, yeah, just because you're Swedish and Kopparberg is Swedish.
I've
Of
been
course,
there.
you're like, yeah, I'm not going to go to this factory, that factory, but a Swedish
wasn't
factory.
interesting.
How dare you drink Kopparberg all the time?
Yeah, I like the product. Doesn't mean I need to know how it's made.
You know, right? After they go through this this tour of the factory place,
Of the factory.
yeah, Tom Atkins and Eddie leave, and they're back out in like the desert type town. It's like a Wild West town almost, isn't it? It looks like. And Ellie spots her father's car in the garage, and also it's quickly concealed. And she runs up to see it, but she's stopped by two drone men, and they decide that something is not quite right here in Santa Mira. Shall we go and have more sex?
Right.
Because you've got to think now. You've got to think, you need a clear mind. That's what's her dad's car. Atkins he then comes across a drone. He smashes the crap out of it, and it appears that it has brown goo. It has brown goo inside of it.
Good, because then the age rating doesn't have to be put up for red blood.
It ends up being taken by Cochrane.
Okay, because this is the bit... I didn't recall how we got from them doing the tour with their best buddies who sold loads of masks.
Yeah, the salesman of the year.
Yeah, his store has sold the most silver shamrock masks.
He's inadvertently killed loads of children.
And himself and his family. Because apparently this is a great excuse for Mr. Cochrane to get this little trio family as an example experiment of how everything's going to work. So he gives little kid one of the masks, leaves the family in a room.
Yeah, and when the kid picks his mask, and Cochrane's like, "Oh no, you can't have that one. Take this one. It hasn't been through final preparation yet." So he gives him one which he knows is going to melt his head.
Yeah, and then leaves them in this room. The kid turns on the TV, and there's, you know, the... And then we get the whole thing with the kid. So the kid kind of like his face seems to melt, and then we get like bugs and snakes and all sorts coming out of the mask.
A rattlesnake comes out and bites the dad on the leg.
That's
employee
it.
of the
So
year.
the dad
That's how
gets
he's done.
got, and then how does the mum get got? Because all of them get got.
I've somewhat forgotten how the woman dies.
And all the while, Mr. Atkins is watching because,
With
of course,
Cochrane and his henchmen, hench drones.
Cochrane is just like every other evil genius. He cannot help himself. He must explain to someone his evil plans.
Well, they're egotists, aren't they? They've got to be egotists. It's much like, you know, Dr. Evil is like, no, I'm just going to close the door and assume that everything went to plan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those. And once he's now revealed his plan to Tom Atkins, we get a shot of all different cities around America of kids out trick-or-treating or buying masks, essentially wearing the masks. I just wanted to point out that when it goes to Phoenix, Arizona, there's like 3 witches walking down like a hillside, and it has this wonderful red sky at night background. It looks absolutely sensational.
Yeah, no, those shots are all actually really beautiful.
It's specifically Phoenix, Arizona. The red sky at night is stunning. And after this, the nurse who wants Tom Atkins, she's been accosted, I believe, at the hospital. She gets drilled in the face. Remember this?
No.
No? Nurse drilled to the head by a suit assassin.
But why?
Well, because she's probably thinking naughty thoughts about Tom Atkins, and
I don't think that's what the
that's enough.
Silver Shamrock thing is supposed to care about, though.
That's my take on it.
Okay.
That's my take on it, okay? Cochrane now Dan O'Hurley gives a great Halloween speech while Tom Atkins is tied up, and like there's just a spotlight on Dan O'Hurley, and he changes from his, I'm the mask maker to I'm the mask maker type of thing. And he's going on about the spotlight's on him, and he's talking about the last great Samhain, I believe he's talking about, was in 1592 when the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children. He's telling this kind of spooky story. And it's only now, in 1982, that the planets are now in alignment.
Yeah.
And that's why his evil plan with the mask can now, take flight.
It has to happen now,
Yeah.
because isn't this a sacrifice to like bad things will happen to everyone if he doesn't do this. So he's like, well, I'm doing what must be done.
And it's cool as he finishes his speech, he's about to walk out the room, and he turns on and goes, oh, and happy Halloween. And then leaves. Yeah, absolutely love that. And now we've got, as I say, Tom Atkins is now tied up, and he's tied to a chair. But there's still a mask there, and there's a CCTV camera looking at him, so I guess the drones can keep an eye on him or whatever. And what he ends up doing, he ends up throwing a mask on the CCTV camera. Now, in real life, that wasn't really going to be the thing. Tommy Lee Wallace had a mask, the director.
Right.
And he just happened to fling it, and it stuck to the camera as it happens in the movie. So it's like, oh, that'd be a really good way for him to, block it out. We're just going to give Tom Atkins a mask. He's going to throw it onto that camera. Turns out it was just sheer luck that Tommy Lee Wallace did this in one go, and he's given Tom Atkins the mask. So it took like 40 takes for him to chuck that mask onto the CCTV. But it was worth it. It's worth it. Okay, you got to suffer for your art. 40 takes ain't bad either. I mean, that's got to be hard to get that on there. Yeah. Wallace did it in one. So Atkins, obviously, he escapes. And he escapes into a vent, and he gets on the phone to his disbelieving wife. He tries to call his wife first. He does care about his children. He's calling his wife first. He's saying, you have to take the mask off them. For God's sake, do not let them wear those masks. And she's like, oh, you're just jealous because they didn't want your mask and they're wearing my mask. It's like, just listen up, woman. This is Dr. Tom Atkins trying to tell you what's what. So she's
probably just thinks he's on some like alcoholic bender,
kids.
knowing him.
That's on her, right?
That's on him, really.
Now Atkins and Ellie, they're creeping around trying to find a way out, and they're in like the main, the science area of all these like nutty machines and the bit of Stonehenge that Cochrane had stolen.
Yeah, that is so silly. You just have like this massive boulder and like a bunch of people like hammering away at
it. It did kind of remind me of something that would be in Dr. Evil's lair. His mountainside lair. And yeah, he finds a box of pogs or something like that, and just throwing the pogs down from a balcony, pew, 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 it annihilates all of the drones. Do you like that?
That was so funny as well. This film is got it's got so many silly things in it.
Oh, of
but
course,
I still think it's
he has
just
to
a
run
great
the advert
movie.
on their televisions before he throws the pogs as well. That's what gets them.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what sets off the Stonehenge.
Stonehenge,
bits.
baby.
Yeah.
Stonehenge. Maybe don't go there because your head might collapse in. Yeah, so the factory explodes. We think it's all going to be, nicey-nicey. But as they're escaping, as Tom Atkins gets in the car with Ellie, it turns out that Ellie is a sex robot.
Like Austin Powers.
Yeah, like a fembot. So
Was she a fembot the entire time though?
that's what I'm thinking, because it can't just be like, oh yeah, I've thrown these pogs around, now she's turned into a drone. That makes no sense.
But what if-
she
'cause they got
was a
separated-
drone sex robot from the moment.
No,
so
that
what do you
doesn't
think
make
about?
sense. No.
It doesn't. We've got
Why
Stonehenge in a pog,
Why-
killing people.
No.
Nothing
No,
makes
no.
sense.
Why would she encourage him to go there and stuff? That makes no sense.
Well, because
I think when they got separated in the factory, when he's watching the thing and he's on his own in
Mm-hmm.
the room, then she got cyborged.
And how is she getting cyborged?
I don't know.
What's the process?
Putting
I-
a bit of Stonehenge dust in her mouth.
No, you have to. Well, she's putting a lot of stuff in her mouth, judging by what's been going on with Tom Atkins. What I'm saying is, because
Pure filth.
her dad knew what was going on, she knew she had to turn up and she was going to meet Tom Atkins. She's been like the Terminator. It says she's a sex robot sent back in time, or sent forward in time, right, from 1592, something like that, to just drain the bodily fluids of Tom Atkins.
Just wear him out.
So he's kind of like. Yeah, he's already on the drink. If you just drain him of his body fluids as well, he's going to be kind of,
too
kind of
relaxed to
useless,
do
and
anything.
relaxed and just whatever. A bit like when he's like mid shag the first time. He's like, "What's that? Who cares?"
It didn't really work though, does it? Because he manages to drive off.
Sent back through time to change the future for one lucky man. Sent forward in time. Yeah. Ellie the sex robot. I'm going sex robot. So the factory explodes. As I said, Ellie's a sex robot, and she attacks Tom Atkins in the car. Mm-hmm. And there's a pretty cool bit where her arm comes off in the fight, and she just has this like weird thing coming out of her shoulder. But what's cool is when she's decapitated, the head is still alive on the floor.
And so's the body. It tries to get him
it's all
again.
good.
Classic.
Yeah, I love that.
Classic.
Arm comes to life, straddling Atkins, and Atkins comes to
a gas
the
station.
original gas station guy's place. Gas station guy, right? And he's pleading.
Was he an attendant or an owner? Who
This is pretty
cares?
much the end, because he gets in there and he's got to plead over the phone with the television networks to take
Would
down.
you know who to call if you were like, mate, television guys, please don't play this advert?
Well, this is in the time of just 4 channels.
Yeah, I know.
So
3 apparently, because
or 3 channels.
because
Yeah.
he watches as he's on the phone begging and pleading. He's like, I don't have evidence. You just have to do it. And he watches. One goes down. Kid changes the channel. Second one goes down. Kid changes the channel. And then we're left on the eerie note of the 3rd channel continuing. No more days till Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. And we know what's going to happen.
And that's what's so great about this. So he's escaped, he's fled the factory, he knows what's going down, he tries to stop it all, but there is no happy ending. I love the fact that all the kids are going to die, all the adults wearing whoever's wearing a mask is going to perish. Rather than cheap out on some happy ending, they've gone full dark.
Yeah, although
that's what
I
I
suppose
want.
if you really want a happy ending, you could be like, oh, well, maybe after the movie ends, it all gets killed, but I don't think so.
After the movie ends, it all gets killed. Do you want to clarify what you're talking about there?
Yeah, when the movie's over, maybe the 3rd ad does get taken down.
No, because I would be there going, for the love of God, take it off! Yes, that's a powerhouse performance when he's on the phone there, by the way. Mm-hmm. That's Tom Atkins in full flight. He also didn't mention when he throws the pogs in the room and all the drones die, Cochrane is then zapped by Stonehenge and he turns into like a 2D form of himself. So that's pretty cool. This is 5 years before RoboCop.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah. I loved this film. It was great.
Yeah.
And
Let's talk about the mask, right? Which pumpkin skull? Very classic. You've gone with pumpkin. Is that because it's your favourite one, or just the easiest one to do?
well, it's also the one that's most prevalent in the film, isn't it?
Yeah, I
It's the one that the
suppose
guy's
so.
clutching. It's the one that the little kid has on.
So is it your favourite? Or is that the Witchy Poo one? I've got it if you want to.
Yeah, I like the witch one.
Your memory refreshed. No, I can't reach it, so I can't get it. But yeah,
I like the witch one.
Yeah, the witch one. Looking back at it there, we can't see it on screen because it's one shelf too high.
You guys can't see it, but we can.
Yeah, there is something quite creepy about that witch one. I think.
Yeah.
Plus, witches just freak me out anyway. It's the chip.
The skull one is my
Stonehenge.
least favourite.
Skull one is what?
My least favourite.
Your least favourite.
Yeah.
I don't know. when he's dressed up there in his full skeletal outfit, it's pretty cool.
But I think a skull one is better. Just paint it on.
Okay, so you're going with that. Well, and we've also touched on the theme tune. So you're loving the masks, you're loving the theme tune, the simplicity of it all. Right now, I've got a question: Is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch under the Halloween banner? Has that given it more notoriety and popularity than it possibly deserves?
I think it's the opposite, as we discussed. I think it's the same as, like, there's many a sequel, not necessarily only in the horror genre, but just in general in film, where the first film was supposed to be standalone. It did super duper well, and of course, super duper well. And of course, we've got money grabbers out there who are like, well, first one did great, so I want more money. Let's do a second film. But when you go into something with certain set expectations, then you're almost always going to be disappointed. Whereas some of these sequels, if you just given it its own name, hadn't said anything...
If it was just called Season of the Witch.
Yeah, I think it would have done well, but it probably wouldn't have been as famous, because obviously Halloween has given it a bigger platform. But I think it would have been, of all the people who've seen it, more of them would have enjoyed it. That's my take.
I think I would have called it, if it was standalone, Colonel Cochrane's Stupendous Fantabulous Mask Making Factory and the Alcoholic Doctor. Is that a good title? Does that tells you what's going on? Oh, open bracket, sex robot close bracket.
No.
How about
Could he have called it like
Season of the Sex Robot?
What about Season of the Shamrock?
I like Season of the Sex Robot better, but talking of Shamrock, I've got it down.
Yeah. Got
Here
off
it
your
is.
ass.
Here it is. It's pretty cool. You've got the three masks.
Pretty cool.
Got the three masks on show there, and in the background, you've got the drone standing ominously in front of the silver shamrock signs in Santa Mira. And yeah, I bought the first 5 of these just because pretty much I love the artwork. I love it so much. Would you like this? Do you like this one better or like the original one better, which I showed earlier on?
No, I like this one a lot.
I do like this one a lot, but there's something to be said.
I like it a lot.
Something to be said about the original, though.
Do you think as well? I found another thing that came to me was
Is it about sex
this
robots?
Cochrane and I guess like the people around there. It's supposed to be like an Irish community.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I was just thinking, are they doing this worldwide or are they just targeting the Yanks?
Well, anywhere you go, there's an Irish pub, isn't there? So Ireland will always be worldwide.
But this death scheme via mask, are they just killing off Americans, or do you think?
I think what you do is
everywhere?
if you start with America and you get America, then pretty much the rest of the world is there for the taking, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's only supposed to do it this one time, and then maybe in like 500 years there'll be time for another one.
But he's not going to be around in 500 years. He's already got on. He's getting along quite a bit in age already.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
So the sacrifice, it's enough if you just do America.
Yeah, I think so. We've seen that they're going to decimate entire cities there. That's going to have one hell of an impact around the world anyway. So do you think of this movie then as a standalone? Or do you watch it like, I'm going to watch Halloween 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Or is it like, I'm going to watch Halloween 1, 2, 4, 5. Oh, I'm going to watch Halloween 3.
Yeah. The latter. That's what I would feel.
The latter. And we briefly touched on it in Halloween 2. So this was the start. This is going to be the beginning of the anthology taking hold of the franchise of Halloween, where it was supposed to be every movie from then on will be a story on Halloween night, but completely standalone from Michael Myers. I think this is the way that they've got to go back to it. As I said, there are too many Michael Myers movies now. We've had 2 lots of remakes with Rob Zombie and the latest 3. It's enough. Like, unless you've got a completely original story for him, or take him back to, the Cult of Thorn, I think you should. People are ready as well. I think all the Halloween fans, knowing that it was supposed to be an anthology, we haven't got it quite yet. You should be. There's so many things you could do the night of Halloween and put it under the Halloween banner, and for a little while, for at least like the next 2 films, just make it what it was originally intended to be.
Well, also,
So where'd you go with Michael Myers now?
they've got entire channels dedicated to crappy Christmas movies. I'm like, where are all the Halloween movies? And don't just say, oh, all horror movies are Halloween. No,
No.
it has to be Halloween.
Yeah. There aren't that many.
There aren't loads of Halloween movies.
There are quite a few, but yeah, there's not a lot of stuff that, Halloween night kind of thing. I think it's because, in a way, Halloween kind of owns stuff happening on Halloween night somewhat. But I would love to see the return of like sex robots in the series of Halloween, certainly. That's just one way. I've just, you just think about it for 2 minutes and you've just got this whole plethora of ideas where you could go with this. You could even make a sequel to Season of the Witch. You know, if you want to be kind of unimaginative.
Or a prequel, because surely they didn't have silicone masks in like 1592.
So you're thinking we base it in 1592? No, that's a good idea. To base it in 1592 when the hills ran red with the sacrifices of animals and children. Yeah, that
seems cool. A bit more Wicker Man-y to me, but you know.
Yeah. So in the standing of Halloween movies, you know, we've got the first one, we've got the second one. 4 and 5 don't remember too much. Then we've got number 6, The Curse of Michael Myers with Paul Rudd. Right, his first movie role. Then after that, we've got the more modern ones, the H20, the Resurrection, and those kind of things. Where does Halloween 3 stand in your kind of like running order without thinking about it too much? Is it a top 3 Halloween movie, or is it a bit further down? Yeah.
I actually think this might be my favourite.
This is the best one. So, are you saying that like Mustafa Akkad and all the rest of them, all the producers, they messed up by not going this way, and we just got a load of Halloween Michael Myers movies, which, by the way, when they brought it back, so this movie Halloween 3, I think, was made for like 4 million, and it made about 14 and a half. This is at a time when these kind of movies were only released in America. It's not like it got a worldwide release. And they brought back Michael Myers for number 4. And I think it only like grossed about the same 14. The number 5 only made like 11. So it's not like the other two were like lighting the box office on fire. It's not like this. This is like The Ride is like a failure, box office wise and entertainment wise. I'm like, oh, it's not in the history of just Halloween. It's not.
I think this. People are going to hate me so much for this.
I don't think so. People like this movie.
I think this is more fun than even the original Halloween.
Well, it's certainly more fun.
So we said in our review of the second Halloween film, there was a lot of gore, but there was a lot less like tension in the film. And in the first one, it's basically all build up, isn't it? There's not really any gore.
The night he came home. No, there's no gore.
Which is fine, but for my personal taste, I just think Halloween 3 has the like perfect mixture of like there's always sort of a step going on, a bit of a mystery. What's happening? Why is it happening? Who's doing it?
Where's Michael Myers?
And yeah, I just think it's really fun. And like you said, some of those shots of like the trick or treaters and stuff are so pretty.
They're amazing. Yeah, I would say that Halloween is just probably a better movie than Halloween 3. It's like the craft of Halloween is kind of untouchable almost, like the way that it's shot, the way it looks, all on that small budget. But this is just if Halloween 2 hadn't happened and this was Halloween 2 after the first one, I'd be like, yeah, that was really great as well. I wouldn't be thinking, oh, I need to see this guy again or whatever. So it's just, I think it did it disservice that it came after a sequel to the original. If that had just come second, who knows what would have happened. But yeah, we got this now, so we just watch it whenever we want, and it doesn't really matter.
Very 80s, isn't it?
Extremely 80s, and I like that. You like it on the back here with his Tash there. You know, Tash or no Tash, he's getting laid in John Carpenter
how
movies.
This guy is like some sort of sex fiend, I will never know, but
and he's oozing machismo.
It must
Tom
be
Atkins.
just like something in person that he's got some crazy pheromones.
Plus, just to have Tom Atkins and Dan O'Hurley in a movie together is also pretty awesome, I think.
That's what I think.
Yeah, so we're going to return to probably our regular scheduled programming next week. Instead of like doing a one-off movie, we'll go back to watching 3 and reviewing them most likely. And, you know, everyone, happy Halloween. We are back after our tragic few days when life wasn't worth living, but now nothing can get me down ever again, even your bad moods.
I'm not in a bad mood.
Not now, you're not, because I've cheered you up. But, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween!
And this won't be the only Halloween one, because, you know, someone insisted that someone get them some Halloween presents, and I will be opening them on camera today and posting it. So it's happy Halloween to me.
Because, everything we do now is on camera.
You've already had your Halloween present. I gave it to you on like the 9th of...
And said I couldn't watch it.
You're not allowed to watch it, but we will be watching it today.
We have to watch it today.
Yeah, it's right
Literally
here.
have to, because then the season is over.
You tried to mention him a lot in this review, and here he is, Scooby-Doo Happy Halloween, Scooby-Doo original movie. I can't wait to watch that either, actually.
Yeah, you love it, you Schleck.
Yeah! How can you not love Scooby-Doo?